The Idol was finally released a few days ago. HBO's new show has been a center of attention, and people were looking forward to watching the show. But the main reason why the show got so much attention is not for good reasons. For those who are not familiar with The Idol, we'll talk about the show briefly, and then we can take a look at all the drama. The Idol follows Jocelyn's story. Portrayed by Lily Rose Depp, she is an aspiring pop idol. After having a nervous breakdown, we see that her tour gets canceled. But she is decisive about getting her title, which is the sexiest pop star in America back. On her way to success once again, she finds herself in a complicated relationship with Tedros. He is portrayed by Abel Tesfaye, aka The Weeknd. He is a self-help guru and the head of a contemporary cult. The show will have 6 episodes in this season, and the first one is already out. To be honest, the show seems pretty interesting, but the viewers considered the show mostly boring. As for the critics' comments, they didn't seem to enjoy the show at all. For instance, Stephanie Zacharek from Time said the show pretends to expose exploitation, but in fact, it's reveling in it. Another critic we want to mention is David Fear from the Rolling Stone. According to him, the show is nasty and brutish. Moreover, it's way worse than you'd have anticipated. Now, the show got our attention even more. How bad could it get? We'll see. And last but not least, Robert Daniels from The Playlist thinks that the show is crude, gross, and sexist. So now it's time for the drama. As you may know, the show began filming in November 2021. But 6 months later, HBO announced that they decided to change some of the cast members and reshoot important scenes. Then it's revealed that the show's original director, Amy Seimetz, was replaced by Sam Levinson. HBO said Seimetz's version didn't meet HBO standards in terms of her approach and production. So far, it's fine, but this is where the drama begins. Some of the crew members claimed that she was set up to fail, because even though she arrived on set 7 weeks before the filming process, she was given half-finished scripts and a tight schedule. Also, HBO's expectations from her were almost impossible to achieve. She was doing her best, but all these rough conditions created an unlikely scenario for her to be successful. In the end, she was out of the picture. Seimetz refused to talk about this incident, so unfortunately, we have no idea what she thinks. Another drama is that Tesfaye allegedly was displeased because the show was focusing too much on Jocelyn, and he wanted to change a few things, such as dropping the female gaze and toning down the cult aspect of the story to make his cult leader character more lovable. The sources also blame him for the overhaul of the show. One crew member even says they were so drained by the end of filming and they were crying every single day since they only had 2 hours to sleep and were pulled 100 directions. They believe that nobody knew what they wanted or what they were doing. Now, let's talk about a major concern of the crew. 4 sources told Rolling Stone that Levinson destroyed Seimetz's approach to the story, and instead of showing Jocelyn as a victim in a predatory industry, he decided to embrace a new approach, which is more of a confusing love story with a hollow message. Some of the crew members found it offensive, and they said it was like any rape fantasy that any toxic man would have in the show, and then the woman comes back for more because it makes her music better. The sources say that at first, the show was about a woman who was finding herself sexually, but now tables are turned and it's all about a man who abuses this woman and she loves it. They also claim that Levinson's scripts had disturbing sexual and physically violent scenes. For instance, there was a scene where Depp needs to carry an egg in her vagina, and if she ever drops or cracks the egg, Tesfaye's character, Tedros, would refuse to rape her. At that point, Jocelyn begs him to rape her because she really believes that this was a necessity for her to be successful again. But thankfully, this scene wasn't filmed because they couldn't figure out how to shoot this particular scene. As you can imagine, HBO denied the accusations, and they said that there's a safe, collaborative, and mutually respectful working environment. Depp said that these words don't reflect her experience on the set even a little, and mentioned how Levinson is the best director she's ever worked with, and she has never felt more supported or respected. Overall, we can say that the sources believe that Amy Seimetz's version of the story was way better, and they hated to see her go. Most importantly, after Sam Levinson's inclusion, they believe the show lost its soul, and now it's empty. Since we have no idea about Simetz's version, we can't be sure if her version was really better, but we believe the sources may actually have a point because they were the ones that had the chance to see what the show was actually about and how different the story was conveyed. Have you watched The Idol? What are your thoughts on the show so far? What do you think about all these dramas? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and share it with your friends. You can also subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you soon!